Hello everyone and welcome to a new ASMR video. And today, this is just chatting, as you can see probably in the title. But this is gonna be a random chat. I'm going to talk about many different things. You don't need to know anything about the previous video. I just try to do the most boring conversation until you fall asleep easily. That's all. And well, I just recently, no, that was 2 months ago, start watching The House of the Dragon. And tomorrow, when I'm recording this Thursday, but this is gonna be online Saturday, and tomorrow or yesterday or whatever that when you are going to watch this video is the last episode of The House of the Dragon. The last episode was really good. I don't going to give you any spoiler. That is pretty good. And well, it looks like this ASMR is more about serious news, but just right now I don't have the money, but I really like to go to the cinema to watch the Odyssey and the last movie of Spider-Man, especially Spider-Man, because I recently watched the news that wasn't a really good premiere for that movie, and I'm curious. I know the highest of the biggest fan about this universe, the Marvel universe, MCU, but I'm pretty curious about that. I really enjoyed some years ago the Endgame movie. I watched that movie on premiere and was great because you can feel the emotion of the people around you in the cinema, and that is really great. Just right now, I don't going to feel that with the Spider-Man, but in the following months, it's gonna be the premiere about Avengers Doomsday, or I don't remember pretty well. And that is the next movie since the Endgame, but you probably don't know anything about this. You just listen to me and enjoy until you fall asleep. And well, that is the first movie since that last really good movie. I know that a lot of people doesn't like this kind of movies, and I totally understand. I like different genres of movies, from heroes, drama, horror, many different kind of genders, and I really enjoy each one of them. For me, the best movies are those kind of movies that doesn't have too much effects, but having a really good story. And there are many movies like that. For example, Jojo Rabbit. Let me think about their Hair. That was from 2014. Hair, Jojo Rabbit, the Budapest Hotel. I think that is the Great Budapest Hotel, something like that. But there are a lot of movies. I don't remember each one of them. And the thing is, in the last months and probably years, I didn't see a lot of movies. In part, it is because I don't have the time, and in the last couple of months I don't have the money. But well, that is something that I is going to start, and I'm going to leave that in the past, because the following months is gonna be awesome. And well, I always try to enjoy different kind of serious movies. Recently, I finished The Boys and Invincible. It is what it is. Probably something that I was thinking in the last couple of days is that each one of us, but not most at all, you and I mean most of us, are going to or directly to a global disaster. A lot of people is saying that since some years ago, and I'm talking about El Nino phenomenon, the phenomenon El Nino, that it's gonna be really hard this year. I know that in the last couple of months in Europe and United States are feeling those environment change, hotter, really hot days, many other things, and it's gonna be worse for some of the countries. And it's ironic that we are living these kind of things, and we all was basically all the humanity received the alert from scientists and many other things. And there are many different theories. I'm not an expert in that kind of topics, but we built our own hazards. And I remember this because recently I started watching a movie. I didn't remember pretty well, but just probably you remember which specific movie it is. It is from Loki from Avengers, the actor. I don't know the name. In a movie that is environmental warning, climate change, something like that. And that movie remind me this moment in history. And also I read an article that a Nobel winner say that humanity it is not going far from 50 years. It's really hard to say that is true or no. I don't have the information. I don't have anything about that to think that is going to be true. But it's probably sure. I don't know that it's going to be hard for most of us in the following years. Even worse than this year, obviously, because we are building our own disaster. And I don't say this just to make you feel bad or just don't give any hope in the future, because that also remind me a news that I read some years ago, that at the beginning of 21st century, a lot of people say that due to the horses in many countries, because in that moment basically there was not any car, or just a couple of cars. There were no cars in that moment, only horses in the streets. And a lot of people say that if more horses is going to be in the streets, eventually all that residual product from the ass of the horses is gonna turn in a total disaster, and there's gonna turn into a lot of environmental and basically an environmental disaster. And then that didn't happen because suddenly someone improved the vehicles, and eventually all the horses start to disappear from the streets, and now we have a lot of cities with millions of vehicles and cars around the world. So I'm talking about this because if you take a look about the past, I think that there are a lot of people say that it's gonna be the end of everything, and at the end didn't happen anything. And just right now, even a Nobel Prize is telling that, well, it is a person with more information and probably have a more objective perspective about all this. But at the end, this earth have any news or future information about the things. Well, I know that there are a lot of conspiracy theories about Nostradamus and related that talk that they know a lot of things about the future and those things has been happening, whatever. And well, something that is pretty sure is that yes, in the following years, things turn into really bad moments, environmental disaster due climate change and contamination and many other things. I think that is pretty much obvious, but probably something suddenly appears and that change could happen. If you take a look just right now, with the time it's gonna be less humans in the earth, and eventually if it's gonna be less humans, it's gonna be less vehicles, less airplanes, less in many other things, and probably that rate reductions in new humans is going to help the world to heal, to clean, and help also to reduce the change of the weather, environmental hazard, and many other things. And probably in the future also, when all this happen, the humanity is going to improve with even a better electric cars, better airplanes, and many other things that help us to have less or even zero contamination with alternative energies, products, production methods, and many other things that eventually is going to finish with all of those things. The humanity is going to live in a new age. And if we live to watch that, something that is probably also going to happen is that the AI, when we finally get a general AI that is going to be exactly or pretty much similar to our brain, and that mix between quantum computation and general AI, if you mix those worlds, the general AI and the quantum computation, that is going to create something that is going to be beyond our minds and capacity. And in that moment, it's probably sure that it is going to be a new species or a combination between humans and machines. Could be one of those ways. Humans and machines, both, or a combination between humans and machines. That new species of quantum AI improvement. And in that moment, it's probably sure that anyone has to work for the rest of their lives. That is gonna be awesome because you will receive money. You don't do anything. Just receive the money, spend the money to create that vicious circle of the economy. Profit and make the money circulated. Or, but that is at the end not so good, because if that happens, it is going to be a little bit more easy to basically slave, and I don't want to say that word because it's not that way. People people is going to convince themselves that this is going to be really good because you don't need to work at that moment. But eventually, if you receive just a reduced amount of money to spend, it's going to create a incredible difference between people with a lot of money, people with just a couple of dollars or thousands of dollars per month. So that scenario is not so good, but there are many other scenarios. Other scenario that I think that probably going to happen is that we change or we have an evolution into a improved and better economic model that basically is going to create a more circle economic based on research. Basically, the research are not infinite. So for example, you have finite number of research and that is going to give you to produce 5,000 products. So you know that you are not able to build more than 5,000. So that it's going to create a new economy that creates this virtuous circle in the economy. And you don't need to work. You can spend time doing all the things that you wanted. And you don't need money because there is no gonna be money. You just go to the store, take the things, you basically receive all that you need. And you will have the conscience just to take all that you need and no more. If you want to take a car, you go take a car you use for a couple of days or the time that you need it, and then you leave and another person is going to take that same car. And I don't know if I make me understand myself, but it is not only the system, it's the mindset. It is incredible new system. But at the end it's gonna be many different things that we don't have just right now. Or we don't imagine. Just thinking this, just if you probably have the possibility to going back just 50 years ago, and you show a person 50 years ago how we live just right now, about the AI advance, the OLED, LCD, and many other new technologies, or from the last couple of years, the cell phones, and many other things, that person is going to say, well, this is crazy. It is like human turned into alien. Because just 50 years ago, against the current days, there isn't a huge difference. The AI, the cell phones, and many other things, that person is going to be, oh, that is incredible. Or maybe they thought that we have a fighter cars. That didn't happen. Many other movies from 50 years ago or even more thought that we're going to have a future that we don't have just right now. And well, at the end, the message that I can give you for this ASMR video is that you can enjoy this present, enjoy the present, live the present, and start having a little bit conscience for the future. I know that the most rich people in the world is the people that create the most environmental hazard around the world. It is not fair that most of the people do the most for just a couple of people in the world. And probably you don't feel good about that. But probably something is going to happen in the following 4 to 9 years, even before than 2014, probably 2035, 2030, 2029. In the following 9 years, probably less or more, is going to happen something that it is going to make that the entire humanity change, or maybe just happen and you don't even realize. If you take a look just right now, with the time, eventually it's going to be less and less and less and less humans, less birds, and just that simple fact is going to be have a huge impact in the future of the humanity. And you probably didn't realize that, or probably yes, I don't know. And it is something that you don't have to do a lot of effort, because people decide on have kids just because, or they don't want it, or they don't have the earnings or the income to have a kids. So that is something that is happening just right now, and that is going to impact a lot in the future. Probably we don't see or we don't watch something that is happening just right now, but it's going to have a huge impact in our futures, for good, for bad. We will see. But even with all that kind of things, I keep have a positive thoughts about human future for the humanity, and I think that we just have to enjoy, live, and share with others this beautiful and wonderful present, and try to do the best for the future generations with the kind of things that you know that you can do. There are many hundreds and thousands of things that you don't have, and you are not able, you don't have the power to have influence. But just keep focusing on what you can do. But don't feel stressed. Try to do it while you enjoy this present. That's probably what I start this ASMR video talking about the House of the Dragon episode, the last movie of Spider-Man, the future Avengers movie, because it is something that I really enjoy. The movies, the series, go to cinema, play video games, play board games. That was for the last couple of months. I've been playing board games with my friends. For me, the only board games that exist, it is Monopoly and related, just, I don't know, 4 or 5 board games, just like that. But one of my friends presented to me and other friends a board game with the name Catan. Incredible, beautiful, and wonderful board game. I enjoy really, and I enjoy a lot the last moments that I'm being spent with my friends playing Catan, because it's a really good game. I share with my friends and it was awesome. I appreciate the time that I spend or invest with my friends. And every time that when I come in of age, I getting older, I start to appreciate even more and more those moments on weekends that I am able to share different activities with my friends. It is incredible. So because of that, I'm start watching and learning about board games. And it is probably sure that in the future months I'm going to purchase a lot of board games. I've been looking and watch different videos about many different board games, and it's an incredible things. And those are the things I enjoy: going to cinema, watch movies, series, board games recently, video games. Even if I have to play alone or with my friends, even if you go to a cafe and just talk, a short talk with your friend, that's the best thing. And you don't need a lot of money. You just need a time, probably an afternoon, a couple of hours, 1, 2, 3 or more friends, hang out with them and talk. That's all. And I've been enjoying my life in the last couple of months, years. I've been going through struggle situations that you probably watch or read or listening in the last couple of months, but that is for another videos. Even with all the struggle and challenging situation that I've been having in the last couple of months, even with all that, I've been really enjoying my life, doing the things that I've been doing in the last couple of months with my friends. Talk, play, share, invest, and live. I don't know what is going to happen in the future. I think that it's gonna be good. And eventually, humanity will figure out how we can solve all the problems that we have just right now. And I think that it's gonna be even a better future for each one of us. I keep having these positive vibes for each one of you, for me, for everyone. And while I try to enjoy my life, I try to enjoy these videos, give you good feelings, give you good thoughts, tingles, triggers, help you sleep, relieve stress, anxiety, insomnia, sleep aid, whatever. I just try to help the way that I can. And this last couple of weeks has been a little bit hard due to my new job. I don't have enough time to create content, but I keep trying, and I feel really bad when I don't have the time, or I don't try to find the time to create videos just like this. It's weird that I create two just chatting videos in the same week. So basically the previous Saturday was chat and this video is chat. I don't have the time, but even with that I always try to create a new video. And eventually I will figure out how can I solve this. And I keep doing this because I enjoy, because I really like to help. And this is a good thing. Share time and moments with people, co-workers, classmates, friends, family, your couple, doesn't matter who is. If you can talk and enjoy that moment, that's everything, and you don't need a lot of money. Just an ice cream, a coffee, chocolate. Or even you don't need a food, you just go hang out to the park and talk. That's all. That is the greatest thing that we have, even if we've been losing in the last couple of years due to technology. It's incredible how the new generation is start finding new ways to share face to face to enjoy those moments. And eventually I think that we will figure out and find that middle moment, that middle equilibrium between digital connection and face to face. We will figure out. Just right now, social media is giving a lot of issues, problems to the new generations, but humanity most of the time, or the times, figure out and solve all those things. Or maybe I'm too much positive about the things, I don't know, but just right now I feel relaxed, I feel good. I just want to help you to sleep, to relax, to relieve. That's my purpose. This channel has been growing slowly, and I don't care. I just enjoy doing this. I know that my time will come. Could be this video, could be the next one. I don't really know. I just keep doing what I like. And me, just like you, go through challenging situations, that's all. That's the thing that I want to talk about this video. I start talking about movies and series, and I finish this conversation talking about life, wisdom, all those kind of things. We talk about the weather and many other things. I'm really good to talk about random topics. I can start talking about, I don't know, curtains and finish with food. I don't know how, but probably it's a good skill. And I don't know if even it's a skill. And well, I think and I hope that for this moment you already fall asleep. That is the purpose of this video. And well, as always, I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you probably didn't sleep until this moment, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And as always, I really hope that you have a really good day, a wonderful week, an amazing, amazing life. And see you in the next ASMR video. Bye. Bye.